This fanfiction is only for entertainment purposes, so please don't take it seriously and don't be offended. It's just a story made out of imagination, so it doesn't define any character in real life. I hope you'll enjoy the story and leave positive comments without hating the author and character. I don't own any pictures, but the storylines are completely mine. I will do voiceover so you can mute it if you want. Hope you will like the video. 1 week later. 1 week passed, and in that week, you acted like he didn't exist. Like he was dead. You didn't look at him. Didn't speak. Didn't ask. While Taehyung, he drowned in guilt, heartbreak, and silence. Every night he drank until his vision blurred, trying to forget your words, your eyes, your hatred. And tonight was no different. He sat on the balcony, half-empty bottle in his hand, tears silently falling as he looked up at the night sky. The stars reminded him of your eyes, once warm, now colder than winter. Suddenly, Umu stormed in, snatched the bottle from his hand, and threw it against the wall. Uwu, angrily enough. Do you want to drink yourself to death? Taehyung, slurring, broken, no. She'll be sad if I die. I just want to drink enough to forget everything. He looked up, eyes dull but full of pain. Uwu, and how long do you plan to keep drinking like this? Taehyung softly, until I'm punished enough. Maybe then she'll have sympathy. Maybe. Maybe she'll love me again. Eunwoo sighed heavily. He, too, was a little drunk, but not like Taehyung. He looked tired. Tired of everything. Eunwoo, bitter smile. You're pathetic, but at least you're trying. That's more than most. He paused. Eunwoo, softly, but it's no use. She hates murderers. She hates me. She hates Mom. She hates Dad. Because in her eyes, we killed her mother. His voice became more emotional. Eunwoo, and now she hates you too, because she thinks you're the reason her child died. I've been trying for so long to earn her forgiveness, but she never even looked at me with softness once. There was a silence. Then, Yoonwoo's voice cracked a little and he chuckled bitterly. Eunwoo, you know, there was a time I thought she was the outsider. That she was the reason Dad left me. I even believed she was some illegitimate child. I hated her. I bullied her when we were kids. Called her filthy blood. I even told her to die, right to her face. He clenched his jaw. Eunwoo, quietly, and she never reacted. That made me hate her more. I only understood everything years later. And by then, it was too late. The only thing I want now is for her to accept me as her brother. But how can I expect love from the person I gave nothing but hate to? Taehyung sat quietly, trying to process his words through the fog of alcohol. He didn't understand everything. But he understood one thing clearly: your pain started long before him. And he added to it. After a long pause, Taehyung finally spoke. Taehyung, broken voice, she was sleeping so peacefully that night. Then, I got Emma's call. She was crying, begging me for help. And I couldn't say no. My best friend made me promise to take care of her. I thought I'd be back before Wan even woke up. His voice trembled. Taehyung, I saved Emma, refused her request to stay, and came back immediately. But by the time I opened my eyes again, everything was already ruined. He held his head in his hands, tears slipping down. Taehyung, Y/N finally started opening up to me after finding out she was pregnant. She smiled more. She talked to me more. I thought she was finally loving me. But now, she blames me for everything. She even thinks I cheated on her. He whispered the last part. Taehyung, heartbroken, with Emma. The girl I only ever saw as a little sister. How could I? Eunwoo, cutting him off, sharply, did she see you as a brother? Taehyung looked at him, confused. Then nodded slowly. Taehyung, yes. I'm sure. I always called her as my sister. I treated her like one. Eunwoo leaned back with a long sigh. Eunwoo, firmly, Taehyung, you're not a child. You should know when a girl is looking at you like a brother, or like she owns you. He looked at him seriously. Eunwoo. There's nothing sisterly about the way Emma looked at you when you weren't paying attention. It wasn't care. It was obsession. Taehyung's eyes widened slowly. He never noticed. Ooh, serious tone. If you really want to fix your life, start by putting distance between yourself and Emma. You've done enough for your dead friend and his sister. Now, it's time you give everything to your own family. Taehyung sat still, staring at the floor, Yoonhwa's words echoing in his mind. He had never imagined that Emma, the girl he protected like a sister, was the one slowly destroying everything he had built. And now he had already lost the woman he loved more than anything. But maybe, just maybe, it wasn't too late to protect what remained was the only thing in his mind. 2 more weeks passed, and everything kept falling apart inside you. You smiled less. You talked to no one. You breathed, but you weren't alive anymore. Your days became heavier. Your nights emptier. The silence around you felt louder than screams. And today, like many other days, you found yourself in the same old park. Your favorite park. The only place where you ever felt a little safe in this world. You sat quietly on the same swing, the one you used to sit on as a child, laughing, dreaming, playing. With him. Your only friend. The only person who ever truly understood you, Max. Your childhood best friend. The boy who was always there when you needed him. The boy who never asked questions, but somehow always knew all your answers. You had your eyes closed, trying to breathe, when suddenly a soft, pure giggle echoed beside you. Your eyes snapped open. And your heart skipped. There he was. Max. But he still looked like that same 8-year-old boy you knew. Same height. Same round cheeks. Same playful sparkle in his eyes. Still wearing that soft blue sweater you gifted him. It was impossible. But it was him. You blinked. Once. Twice. You weren't dreaming. Max, smiling gently. What are you looking at, señorita? That voice. That nickname. Only he ever called you that. Tears filled your eyes. You didn't know why, just like the first time you ever met him as a child. That day too, you saw him, and for some reason, you started crying like you were waiting for him your whole life. And now, again, here he was. Just when you were crumbling from within. You didn't waste a second. You got up, dropped to your knees, and wrapped your arms tightly around him, clutching him like you'd never let go. Crying into his little chest while he gently patted your head. Like he always did. Like no one else ever did. He waited patiently, letting you pour your soul out in silence. And when your sobs slowed, he sat on your lap, looking at you like nothing had changed. Then softly he asked, Max, what do you wish for now, señorita? Your lips parted on their own. The truth spilled out, like it always did with him. When, barely whispering death. His eyes didn't widen. He didn't flinch. Just like in childhood, when you once told him you wanted love, a family. Now the answer had changed. Time had changed. And so had you. Max, gently, and why is that? Wouldn't your husband be sad if you died? A tear rolled down your cheek again. He wiped it away, soft fingers brushing your skin. When broken, no, he won't be. He'll probably celebrate with my so-called family. After all, their biggest problem will be gone forever. You looked away, voice filled with unbearable pain. When my father tried to strangle me. My brother told me to die. My stepmother locked me in the attic for a week, torture me for so long, wishing I would die. And now, my husband. Your voice cracked. You closed your eyes tightly. When, now he too, killed my child. Maybe not directly, but he did it. And I survived. But I shouldn't have. I just want to be with my child now. I don't want love. I don't want life. I just want my baby. To hold him. To share this pain. Because no one else understands. There was silence. Then you felt his little arms wrap around your waist. Tight. Gentle. Comforting. Max, softly, he already knew you were suffering, señorita. He tried everything to make things better. But I guess, he failed again. He looked up at you, his eyes still warm. Then he smiled slightly, like a little plan forming in his head. Max, so let's do one thing. Let's take a test. You looked at him confused. Max, firmly but kindly, will test your husband. If he wins, your wish won't be granted. But if your pain wins, you'll fall into a peaceful sleep. No more noise. No more pain. Just peace. You stared at him, lips trembling. Because deep inside you knew. This was the final chance. A test between love and suffering. And whichever wins will decide everything. Taehyung was still standing in shock, unable to move. You were there, lying on his bed, after almost a month of ignoring him like he didn't even exist. Tonight, for the first time, you sat beside him. You ate with him quietly, but still, you ate. You didn't flinch when your fingers accidentally touched his. You didn't push your plate away. You didn't walk away like before. And now you were here, on his bed, without a word. Taehyung didn't know how to react. He slowly walked to the other side and lay down beside you hesitantly, carefully, as if afraid even his breath might push you away. But you didn't move. You didn't say anything. The room was so silent, he could hear the clock ticking on the wall. He closed his eyes for a second, trying to calm his racing heart. That's when your voice broke the silence. Wyan, softly, don't leave me tonight. No matter what happens. His eyes flew open. He turned to look at you immediately, but your back was facing him now. Your eyes. Already closed. But those words. They echoed in his mind like thunder. His heart began beating faster. Something wasn't right. Something felt wrong. He didn't know what, but he knew that tone. It wasn't peace. It was pain. Without waiting another second, he gently pulled you into his arms, your back against his chest, your body fitting into his like it always used to. You didn't resist. And that made it scarier. Usually, you would flinch, move away, or at least freeze. But tonight, you simply let him hold you. Taehyung, softly, a whisper, I won't. I promise. I'm not going anywhere. And as he kissed your shoulder softly, he didn't know if he was promising you or begging God. Midnight. Taehyung's phone had been vibrating for a long time on the nightstand. He didn't want to pick it up. Not after seeing the name flashing on the screen, Emma. He had been ignoring her for 2 weeks now. He had already made it clear to her. He won't be coming to her anymore. From now on, it's Wyan he will choose. Only Wyan. But tonight, something in him made him answer. Taehyung, quietly, he dash. Emma, cutting him off, already shouting, Why? Why are you doing this to me? I told you. I told you I would never leave you. And now you're blocking me from your home? All because of her? Did you forget? My brother gave his life to protect you. You owe me, Taehyung. And now you want to leave me too. There was a long pause. Then her voice turned cold. Deadly. Emma, voice trembling, you have 15 minutes. If you don't come to my house, you'll be responsible for one more death. Your best friend's sister will die tonight. Let's see how peaceful your life stays after that. And with that, she hung up. Taehyung froze, his breath caught in his throat. The phone slipped from his hand. Taehyung, no. No. Not again. He whispered to himself, panic rising. He still blamed himself for her brother's death. He couldn't risk losing her too, not this way. In a rush, without a second thought, he ran out of the room. He forgot everything. Even the promise he made just hours ago, don't leave me tonight, no matter what. But the moment he left the room, your eyes slowly opened. You stared blankly at the ceiling, unmoving. Your voice was nothing but a quiet whisper. Wyan, brokenly, see. I told you. He's never going to change. One single tear slid down your cheek. Wyan, choking, I knew it. I knew I didn't matter to him. His love, his care, it was all fake. Another tear fell. But this time, it didn't carry anger. It carried quiet surrender. You had already braced your heart for this pain, but it still hurt more than anything else. And then, in that lonely, cold room, a familiar voice echoed behind you. Even though you were alone in the whole room, yet there was a voice other than yours. Max, softly, so we lost. Looks like it really was a mistake to give him a chance. You couldn't move anymore. But his next words made your eyes widen, just a little. Max, gentle, almost like a lullaby, I bless you with a peaceful sleep now, Mama. We'll meet again soon. And before your lips could even part, your eyes closed. A deep, heavy silence wrapped around the room. Just a few seconds later, the door creaked open. Taehyung entered, slowly, calmly. His phone was pressed to his ear, speaking to Woo. Taehyung quietly, as if exhausted, go check on her. If she's alive, take her to the hospital. If she's dead, arrange a funeral. But don't tell me anything about it. Just let me and my love stay in peace tonight. He ended the call. And then his eyes landed on you. You were still there, lying on your side, still as ever. A smile came to his lips. He came forward slowly, laid down beside you, and without saying a word, wrapped his arms around you. He sighed softly, as if finally at peace. But then, he felt it. Your body. Cold. Too cold. Taehyung whispers Wyan. He moved back a little and cupped your face. Taehyung, Wyan, hey, wake up. No response. His hands started shaking. He gently tapped your cheek. Taehyung, terrified, love? Baby? Please say something. But your body didn't move. Your chest didn't rise. His heart dropped. Taehyung, no. No, no, no. Please. He pulled you closer, hugging you tighter, crying against your forehead now. Taehyung, please wake up. I came back. I didn't go. I swear. I didn't take a single step out. Please open your eyes. But you were in deep sleep now, and all he could do now was cry in silence, holding your lifeless body as your peaceful face smiled in eternal sleep, while his world shattered for the second time. Hospital room. The machine beeped slowly beside you. The only sound in the room. You were lying there still, too still. Eyes closed. Lips pale. Skin soft like always but lifeless. The doctor had just left. And his words were still ringing in everyone's ears. She's in coma. Reason unclear. But she may not wake up anytime soon. And now, Taehyung was sitting beside you, holding your cold hand. Tears were falling without control. His whole body was shaking. His heart? It felt like it had stopped with yours. He kept looking at your face, so peaceful, so quiet. But to him, it looked like you were mocking him. Like your silence was asking him, where were you when I needed you? Taehyung, choking on his voice, I didn't leave, love. I swear. I didn't go anywhere. His fingers wrapped around yours tightly. He brought your hand close to his chest, as if hoping you could feel the heartbeat that only belonged to you. Taehyung, desperate, I remembered my promise. I came back. I didn't even step out of the house. I just picked up the phone. Just for a second. That's it, I swear. He bent forward, resting his forehead on your hand. Taehyung, you knew, didn't you? You knew you were going to do something like this. That's why you asked me to stay. That's why you looked at me like that before sleeping. But I failed you. Just like everyone else did. A sob broke from his chest. Taehyung, please wake up. Wyan, please, punish me, hit me, scream at me, but don't lie here like this. I can't take this, love. I'm not strong like you. I'm not brave like you. Please, please don't leave me like this. His voice cracked completely now. He cupped your face carefully, pressing a soft kiss to your forehead. Taehyung, I didn't cheat you. I didn't want to hurt you. I just made a mistake. I should have told Emma to go to hell. I should have held you tighter when you asked me not to leave. You were right about me. I'm a coward. I'm selfish. But I love you. I swear I love you. I didn't know love could hurt like this. He looked up again, hoping for a flutter of your lashes, a twitch of your finger, anything. But you looked peaceful. Peaceful like someone who had already said goodbye in her heart. Your expression wasn't angry, it was calm. Too calm. And that broke him even more. Taehyung, in a whisper, why does it feel like you're punishing me by showing me what peace looks like without me in it? The rest of your family stood to the side quiet. None of them dared speak. Not even Uwoo, who had tears in his eyes, but said nothing. Because in that moment, they all understood. This wasn't just your pain anymore. This was Taehyung's curse now. To live every day, knowing that he failed the only person who ever truly loved him. He leaned closer again, breathing your scent that still lingered. Taehyung, if you're listening, even from somewhere far, please just give me one more chance. I'll fix everything, I promise. His voice cracked into nothing. Taehyung, but please, just come back to me. And yet, you didn't move. Your chest rose and fell slowly. You were breathing, but not with him. And that was the cruelest part. You were still alive, but just far enough for him to feel dead. Taehyung had cried so much beside your hospital bed, gripping your cold hand in silence, that his body finally gave up. He collapsed on the floor beside you, unconscious. But what he didn't know was that this time, his soul had wandered into a place far more terrifying than reality, a place where the weight of his guilt took form. When he opened his eyes again, he wasn't in the hospital. He was somewhere different. Dark. Cold. Empty. Smoke lingered in the air, and the ground beneath him was stained red. It was a battlefield, but the war had already ended. There were no sounds now except one crying. Taehyung looked ahead, his legs weak, his heart heavy. And then, he saw it. Himself. Another version of him in warrior robes, wounded, bruised, covered in dirt and blood, sitting in the center of the battlefield. That warrior Taehyung was holding something in his arms. No. Someone. A woman. You. Your lifeless body lay still in his arms. Your face pale. Your lips cold. Eyes shut like you were sleeping forever. Taehyung's breath caught in his throat. He stumbled closer, eyes wide, his heart screaming. And then, the warrior version of him spoke. Warrior Taehyung, sobbing, if only. If only you was mine. I would have never let this happen. I would have protected you. Loved you. Chosen you every time. I will never let you die. If only you choose me, not him. He cried like a broken man, and Taehyung couldn't take his eyes off the scene. Because it felt real. Too real. Suddenly, soft footsteps echoed behind him. He turned. A small child was standing there, wearing a white shirt, his hands behind his back, looking at the warrior Taehyung with wise eyes. It was Max. Max walked forward slowly, his little feet touching the blood-stained ground without a sound. He stood in front of the kneeling warrior Taehyung and asked softly, Max, can you really keep your promises? Can you really make my mother happy for the lifetime? The warrior Taehyung looked up at him with teary eyes and nodded desperately. Warrior Taehyung, I will. I swear on my life. I'll never let her cry again. Max smiled. A soft, knowing smile. But also, a warning. Max, then I will give her to you again in her next life. But if even one more tear falls from her eyes because of you, I will come back and take her away forever. The wind howled, like the battlefield itself was listening. Warrior Taehyung nodded repeatedly, crying and holding your body tightly in his arms like he'd never let go again. But just then, Max's eyes shifted. He looked directly at the real Taehyung now. Not the warrior. You're Taehyung. And this time, his face turned angry. His voice shook with emotion. Max, pointing at Taehyung, how could you do this, Dad? You promised me. You promised to make my mother happy. But you broke your promise. You failed. Taehyung's legs gave out. He fell to his knees, sobbing like a child. His palms pressed against the ground. His forehead touched the cold earth. Taehyung, screaming, broken, please give me one last chance. Don't take her away from me again. I love her. I need her. His voice cracked and broke as he begged again and again. Taehyung, just one last time. Please, Max, let me fix everything. Let me show her that I can be the man she always needed. Max stayed quiet. He looked at him, long and hard. His small face unreadable. The battlefield faded into a blur of white light. Taehyung kept begging, crying, pleading, head bowed, hands clenched, not knowing if he would be given another chance, or if your peaceful sleep was already permanent. The open end. Now ending depends on you, that whether Max give him another chance or not. Either it will be a happy ending or bittersweet ending, depends on your way of taking the story.